Good morning, Katanning. Got a little problem on the homestead here. You can check it out with me. See, I've got a nice grass harvest here. Got a lot of work ahead of me, but finally caught up to all the mowing. But that's not what I want to talk about. Look at my little fruit tree here. All these had nice little leaves coming all the way down, and I came out the other day and everything was stripped bare. Now what do you suppose did that? So deer did that, of course, because deer are terrible, terrible creatures. Unless you're eating them, then they're great. But other than that, I could totally do without them, but you know, it is what it is. So this is what we did last year. This worked really well. So this is a pear tree actually, and so it was like that last year. The deer ate all the leaves off of it, and then we put these nice little fences on them. Just lock them together. This is just like standard goat fencing, basically, and that's basically what deer are. They're just big goats. So, and then I don't know if I can find one here. Yeah, right over here. So then I put 3 tent stakes into each one, just to keep them nice and secure. They don't, they're not super secure. Like I can pull them out pretty easily, but it's a deterrent enough for deer. They don't seem to bother it. Here comes some. Whoa! Whoa! You were going fast, Joey.
I go here first.
I think Joey beat you.
No, I beat him.
I don't know.
He fell down.
Let's check the video. We'll see if the video says if Joey won or you won. Here comes some. Whoa. Joey won.
Guess what? I got a blue one under.
You got 2 shirts on. Hey, do you want to help me make some fences today? You gonna help too?
Yeah. Yes!
Okay, let's go make them.
Yeah!
Okay, so we got our welded wire fencing, got our bolt cutters to cut it, and then we have our little carabiners here. So we need those, and then we have a bunch of tent stakes.
So the deers don't open up the fences.
That's right, so they can't get the trees, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get to it. So we have 100 feet of fencing, and I need 12 fences. I'm going to make 4 9-foot fences and 8 8-foot fences. I think that'll get me what I need. I'll double check my math, and then we're going to get started. Hey, you were learning how to measure the other day. You wanna measure? Mm-hmm. We do the 8 feet. Hey, can we do 8 feet? Okay, let's do it. Okay. Number 1. Can you pull that all the way back till you find number 8?
That's a little.
Hold on to this part. Yep, hold it tight. Hold it tight.
Brick.
Remember last year we had a brick? You gonna grab a brick? Okay. Hold it.
How am I gonna do this?
Cut it off like this. And you cut them all the way down. Put it in there. Cut it. Okay, keep going. There's a car coming, Lily. Get over back there. See? So this is 8 feet. Looks like it'll be plenty big for a little tree. And what a good helper I have here. Great job, Abby. You're doing awesome. Hey, great job, big helper.
You're welcome.
Where'd you learn to do that?
I don't know.
You don't know? You just knew how to use the bolt cutters? I probably shouldn't ask too many questions if you know how to use the bolt cutters. You ready to go put these up?
Yes.
Okay, let's drag them all.
I'm gonna hang them up.
You're hanging them up? I don't think that's how it works, is it? Is that what we do with those? Don't put them on there now, because we gotta drag them over, okay?
Okay.
Let's get them. Let's go drag them over, and we'll get it done. Joey, you even cut one of these, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, good job.
How to do it.
Not bad for a 3-year-old.
I did a lot. I got 3.
Great.
Over for you.
Okay, you put one on the other side? Here, you put one in
How
the...
do you do it?
Here, you put... Go the other side.
I found...
You push it down like this.
Really? I found...
Yep. That one?
Daddy, I'm trying to do one.
You doing?
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the tent stakes. You got 1, 2, 3. And now this tree is essentially deer-proofed. That's just awesome. Hopefully it'll get its leaves back going. And
Like this.
these girls are crazy, decorating them like Christmas trees, but that's their thing. I'm just worried about the deer. Okay, I got these 2 trees done. One way over there. This girl, what are you doing? All right, got them all in before dark, luckily. Had a lot to do today. That was one of my last things, but there's always tomorrow for the rest. But super happy to have those on. The deer won't be able to completely destroy them, and they'll give them a chance to recover now. And they've just been pruned by nature, so I don't have to do it, right? One last thing. Well, it's the end of another beautiful day out here, but it does make me think about, having kids and when to have them help, because, I could have done those fences probably a little bit faster if I did it by myself, but the fact is, I'm trying to train them for something in the future, and I have a theory. I call it the utility of children. Okay, guys, this is what I call the utility of children. Now, to me, I've been thinking about this for a long time, ever since I've had kids, trying to figure out, how do you train children? When is it appropriate for them to be working with you? What ages should you start to do what kinds of things? And, I've really got to thinking a lot about it. So this is what I came up with. This side is how effective I am as a person, as a worker. And then this side is the age of my actual children, if they're with me, and how my effectiveness is hinges on which children are with me at a given moment. And so this is the age 0. So when I have a baby with me, for example, if I have a baby, I'm not as effective as I would be without a baby. I'm actually about 20% less effective with a baby than without one. And it actually gets worse as they get older, because a baby doesn't really move around a lot. So you can still work reasonably well with a baby. You just have to make sure that they're fed and changed and those kinds of things. But they can't run off on you. They don't go anywhere. So in that sense, having a baby is pretty good. So I'm only losing 20% of my effectiveness if I have just a baby with me. Now, 1-year-old, that's when they're starting to walk. They can certainly crawl. Most babies can crawl at 1 year old. So my effectiveness actually goes down. I'd say I'm 40% less effective with a 1-year-old than I am by myself. 2 years old, I think, is the peak of how bad it gets. I'm 60% less effective with a 2-year-old. And then I think 3-year-old, if you begin to get a little bit of your effectiveness back. 4 years old, it comes back quite a bit. 5 years old, we're almost back to even. And I would say certainly by 6 years old, your child should actually be helping you a little bit more than they're hindering you. And so you have this pretty drastic downward fall, and then you have this upward climb. And to me, I have a niece who's 10 years old. She is super effective when she is helping me. I would say, I'm 60% better as a worker when she's around. And I think a properly trained child by age, 13, 14, 15 should be like having 2 people at that point. And so we should just have this gradual climb. And certainly even by age 18, a properly trained child, I think, would be like having more than 2 of me, because at that point, my effectiveness is going down and they're just getting better. I've used the term several times, a properly trained child. And so what I mean by that is there's so many kids who are never really allowed to help or allowed to do anything or encouraged to do anything. And so you have a lot of children, I know a lot of 13, 14, 15-year-olds that I would say are still down here. I would still be less effective working with them than I would be by myself, and it's because they've never done anything before. They're still basically like toddlers in a mindset of work. And so what I try to do with my kids is every single time that I can possibly have them help me, I have them help. And so even if it's something like cutting these fences, yeah, I know that I'm training them right now. I know that it's going to take me longer by having them help me than it would if I was doing it myself. But if I don't do that now, 10 years from now, I'm still going to be in the same spot that I am now. However, if I do let them help now, they're gaining a little bit of experience every single time. And pretty soon, and I would say Abby's already here, my oldest daughter, she is already just as good with, I'm just as good with her as I am by myself, because she can really help to do things. And so, she does hinder me in some other ways, but at the same moment, she helps me just as much as she hinders. So I hope that's a help to you. Trust me, I know that it's difficult to work with children. I get it. I 100% get it. Because when you have multiple kids working with you, they all stack on top of each other. And so if you have like 3 children under 5 years old that you're trying to work together, like with what my wife does every day, it's pretty much impossible to get things done, because your effectiveness is hindered. 50% for a toddler, another 20% for a baby, another 30% for a 3-year-old. Your effectiveness is 0 at that point. You're just in survival mode. I get it. But whenever you have the opportunity, every moment possible, use it as a training moment, because your kids, they will be more help than you could ever possibly imagine, as long as you take all those opportunities as training. You make yourself some little workers so that you can actually utilize the utility of your children, that all those little investments that you make will pay great dividends down the road. So let your kids help. Let your kids help, no matter how frustrating it may be. That's all I have for you today. Hope you enjoyed that. It's something I've been thinking about for a long time, and I just had to get it out on paper and share it with you guys. So let me know. What do you think about the utility of children? Is this something that you've experienced in your life? Are percentages right? Maybe you want to have a little conversation about that. Leave it in the comments. Leave a like on this video. Don't forget to share it with someone that you know. And of course, subscribe to this channel. Hit the little bell for notifications. All of that wonderful stuff. And I will see you in the next one. Someone's a little sleepy. What's going on, buddy? What happened? Heat got to him. 90 degrees outside today. Tired baby. Abby, thanks for your help today. Are you tired? You tired from all that working? No? What's wrong? Let me push you? Okay, one more time. Is that better? Okay. These guys are getting crazy too.